I want to thank you, brothers, for following along this week as we've focused on the spiritual discipline of slowing down. Every day we've had a different prayer point to drive that spiritual discipline into our hearts. And this is our last day. And I want to talk to you about slowing down, because in slowing down, we see the bigger picture of what God is doing. In Psalm 46, verse 10, we see God saying, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted in every nation and throughout the earth." Well, it's that last part of that passage where he says, "I will be exalted among the nations and throughout the earth," that we find the will of God. You know, when I was younger, particularly in high school, going to college, and in my 20s, I was almost immobilized by the fear that I was missing God's will. Every decision I tried to make, I wondered, is this God's will for me? Is that God's will for me? Am I doing His will? And in having that fear, I really did myself a disservice, brothers. I kept myself from doing so many things because I was worried about being disobedient to God's will. And then I found out something key in my life, something very, very important. I found out that God's will is that every person on this planet would know Him, would love Him, and would serve Him. That is God's will, brothers. His overarching will, His great dream, if you will, His desire for the nations, that we all know Him. And that's what He's saying in Psalm 46:10. I will be exalted among the nations and throughout the earth. It's His will, brothers. And so, in doing God's will, what I have to do is place myself inside His desire. In other words, how am I helping all people come to know, to love, and to serve God? You know, when I'm rushing through life, when I'm working for myself, when I'm stressed about meeting deadlines and meeting appointments and crossing off something else on my calendar, I get away from the big picture, brothers. I start focusing only on me and not on what God wants in this world. So, brothers, I encourage you today, slow down, because in slowing down, we come to a realization that God's dream is bigger than our dream. And when we put ourselves in His dream, we'll be happy. Have a good day, brothers.